My niece looked at my birthday gift and scoffed. "This is all you got me?" My brother just shrugged. "She's used to better." I smiled and said, "That's the last gift you'll ever get from me. I've always been the rich, single uncle to my older brother's family," which was just a polite way of saying they saw me as their personal ATM. My brother Mark and his wife lived completely beyond their means. They raised their daughter, Chloe, to believe the sun shined exclusively for her. I used to let it slide because I loved the kid. I'd buy the iPads, fund the expensive summer camps, and quietly pick up the tab at overpriced family dinners. But Chloe's Sweet 16 was the absolute breaking point. Mark had rented out an absurdly expensive country club. For months, he'd been dropping heavy hints that I should be the one to buy her a car. I make good money in tech, but I'm not buying a brand new Mercedes for a teenager who doesn't even know how to pump her own gas. Instead, I got her a solid $14K gold necklace with her birthstone. Tucked inside the card was a certified check for $2,000, meant for her college fund. It was a damn good gift if you ask me. When it was time to open presents, Chloe sat on a literal throne, ripping through designer bags and thick envelopes of cash without so much as a thank you. Finally, she got to my small velvet box in the card. She tore it open, stared at the gold necklace for a second, and literally dropped it back into the box like it was radioactive. Then she looked at the check. She scoffed, rolling her eyes dramatically in front of 50 guests. $2,000? This is all you got me? The entire room went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. I looked at Mark, fully expecting him to step in, scold her, and correct his daughter's awful behavior. Instead, he just took a lazy sip of his scotch, leaned back and shrugged. "She's used to better, man," Mark said loudly. "We really thought you were tossing her the keys to an Audi." Something inside me just snapped, but I didn't yell. I didn't throw a tantrum or make a scene. I just felt this cold, absolute calm wash over my entire body. I smiled, stepped forward, and calmly picked up the velvet box. Then I gently slid the $2,000 check right out of her manicured hand.
"You're right," I said, my voice perfectly steady.
"That's the last gift you'll ever get from me." Before either of them could process what was happening, I turned around and walked out of the country club. My phone blew up that night. Mark called me petty, sending walls of texts saying I humiliated a child and ruined her big day over a joke. I didn't reply. I just blocked his number and went on with my life. I kept my word. For the next 2 years, there were 0 birthday cards, 0 Christmas presents, total, absolute financial silence. They thought I'd eventually cave and come crawling back because I always did. What Mark didn't know was that since Chloe was born, I had been putting money into a high-yield trust fund for her college tuition. By her 18th birthday, it was sitting at roughly $90,000. Yesterday, Mark finally showed up at my house, unannounced and looking completely desperate. His credit had tanked, and Chloe had just been accepted into a private university they absolutely couldn't afford. He swallowed his pride, shifting awkwardly on my porch, and asked if I could access that college fund I used to talk about when she was a baby. I looked him dead in the eye and gave him the exact same smile I gave him at the country club. "Oh, the college fund?" I said softly. "I liquidated that last year. I bought a cabin on the lake."
"She's used to better anyway, remember?"
The look of absolute soul-crushing horror on his face was worth every single penny.